Welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, listen, today we're going to be making something super delicious, super good for you, super wonderful, just all around good. And I'm going to give you 3 ways you can use this. And it's just absolutely delicious. So we are going to be making some bone broth, some chicken bone broth, which I'll share with you more about that in just a minute. It's not just for cooking with recipes. It's good on its own. And we're going to make that together. But first, I want to share with you, we're in January. Okay, so it's time to be thinking about feeling better and so forth. Well, those of you who know Bryant know he has suffered greatly with his feet. You also know that I struggled thinking of a good gift for him. Well, I'm going to share with you real quick before we get into the bone broth. I'm going to be sharing with you the 2 gifts that I gave him and tell you a little bit about them and then tell you, does he like them? Does he not? I will tell you right up front, there's one he does like better than the other and is more suited for him. So I'm going to share those with you, and then we'll come right back and we'll get into talking about and putting together some bone broth. So I would like to thank Costway for helping me with Bryant's Christmas gift. I don't often do product reviews, but when they sent me this invitation and I saw what the items were, I immediately thought of Bryant's struggle with foot pain and realized here was a great opportunity. So I said yes. Costway, let me tell you, is a great company. The quality of their items is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. They have 24-hour online service should you have any problems. They have fast delivery. It is absolutely amazing, and I am thrilled. They often, on their website, they often have several sales and discounts, and they are offering my viewers a 10% discount site-wide. So I'm going to leave everything. First of all, here's the coupon code right here. And then I'll leave it down in the description along with the links of the 2 items they sent me to help with Bryant's foot pain. So without further ado, let's see what Bryant thinks about this. Let's take a look at it. As you'll see here, there is your off and auto power button. You have a foot massager that will go slow, midway, or fast. The leg also offers slow, mid, and fast. And there is heating and vibration, or heating and vibration. So there's lots of options for your comfort. Okay, Bryant, why don't you demonstrate it for us?
Pretty simple.
Like he hasn't been in it a million times.
This is a really cool gadget. You need to set it up close to wherever. It's got 2 handles on the side.
Nice handles.
Yeah, set it wherever you're going to. You choose your selection right here. I like to do the medium on both the legs and the feet. And then you just kind of lean back. You're kind of at a sloping position, but it works well on this couch for me. Or you can choose to slide up and sit more toward the front of the couch, but it does it's got some rotating ball mechanisms in there that rotates the side, the calves, the bottom of the feet, and this is a excellent machine. We have all thoroughly enjoyed it. I think everybody in the family has used it, and believe it or not, I can sit in this thing about 9 o'clock, turn it on, tilt my head back, and I'm asleep in about 5 minutes. It is really, really good.
So would you say it feels good to where your feet hurt, that bother you?
Oh yeah, it. I've got a little situation going on right now. What's it called?
Capsulitis.
Yeah, in my right foot, and so it feels really good to that. Now I've also occasionally have plantar fasciitis. Now I don't know how it would feel to that one. I don't know, because I haven't experienced that flares up. I hadn't experienced that since I've had this machine, but it just feels really good. The massaging of the thighs and the feet, it's really, really good.
Very good. So there you have it. This is a top-notch gift for sure.
2 thumbs up. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Everybody's enjoyed it. And play around with all the selections. Do low, medium, high. See what works good for you. I like medium. It works good.
Okay, this is the second machine. It is a water massager and pedicure. It has several options. It has temperature control, massage, a shower option, a red light, and there's your temperature and timer again. And there is the shower.
Yep. See that? You can turn it on or off right there. Got a little button.
Yep.
Right here's where you control your temperature. You bump it up. I think 118 is the highest it goes. Okay. We're going to put it right there. If you want the red lights on,
they're on.
They're on. Okay. See the red lights right there in the bottom?
All right. How about turning the massagers on so they can see them? There's rollers, all kinds of rollers. And you just fill it with hot water. And it comes with a tube for draining, easy draining. Is that what that tube is for?
That's what the tube is right there.
Okay. So do you want to demonstrate or shall I?
It's got a handle that you pick it up, carry it with. I would not use the handle with it full.
Just doesn't seem quite so sturdy.
Well, and I'd grab it by the edge like that.
Just for security purposes.
Okay, all right. Let's put our feet in. You ready?
This is where it's a bit awkward for Bryant. Because his feet are big. You have to kind of finagle your feet.
There we go. Turn the massagers on. You can turn the shower on.
Let's see. Let's turn the shower on. Well, yeah, there we go.
It's a relaxing machine, especially if you like the warmth on your feet and things like that. I do, so it's really good. It does remind you of when you sit down to get a pedicure and they're filling it up with hot water and you're sitting there and they're waiting on your nails and cuticles to soften up. So
can you tell he's had a few pedicures?
just a couple. If you just keep your feet lightly on it, they stay stationary. All
right, show him. But if he relaxes his feet, it pushes his feet forward.
Yeah. So, but it's a really relaxing machine. Works really well. You just have to find what pressure you want to put your feet on, the massagers and things like that, so you can kind of keep them stationary.
Yep. All right. So, how would you rate this one?
This is a good machine.
Good machine. Not as good. You like the massager better.
I like the massager better. If somehow they could change the rotation of the back rollers or the front rollers to go opposite directions and my feet would stay stationary, this one would be superb too.
All right. There you go.
So as you can see, Bryant thoroughly enjoyed these products, especially the foot massager. That's his number one, and he is in it every single day, multiple times a day. I have a feeling this will become part of our living room decor. He loves it so much. So, Cosway, thank you so much for helping my husband with his foot pain and helping me with a Christmas gift for him. And thank you for offering such wonderful products. So if you're interested, don't forget there is a coupon code down in the description along with the links to these items. And thank you, Cosway, for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get on back to making some bone broth.
So why in the world would I want bone broth? I know that may be the question you're asking, and like, Leslie, really? You can buy chicken broth in the store. Okay, well, this is not chicken broth. This is so much richer, so much healthier, there's just so much more in it. So let me give you 3 reasons why or how bone broth can be used. And it can be beef bones, and we may do that too, but today it's going to be chicken. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you may need it or want to start including it in your diet. That is, 1, we're in January. We're in the winter months. We are at the time that the winter flu comes knocking on our doors. So if you already have this in you, it may help you ward it off a little bit better, or at least maybe it not be quite so bad. Or if you do get it, this may be just that soothing, comforting thing that helps you get through. You know, you don't really want to eat things heavy when you're not feeling good. This may be what it takes to just, you know, help you get through an illness, a sickness, a winter cold, the flu, any type of sickness. Also, those of you that do intermittent fasting, and what that is like you cut your food off at a certain time at night and you don't eat anymore until the next day. You just have a certain short window of eating. And when you are fasting like that, you don't necessarily want to break your fast with a huge, great big meal or a burger or a steak or scrambled eggs and bacon. You kind of want to ease back into eating, and a small cup of bone broth is a great way to break fasting if you're doing intermittent fasting. Now, I know not everybody is doing intermittent fasting, but if you are, this is a great thing to have on hand to just kind of wake your belly up and wake everything up saying, hey, I'm ready to eat now. Also, now, this is kind of Leslie's reasoning. I mentioned the other day that since I have lost weight, my skin has a few wrinkles where I stretched it out. When I was eating, I stretched it out good. And now I've lost weight. And so it has lost some of its volume. And my goal for 2025, as far as my health and this part of me goes, is I want to work on my skin. I want to work on getting some collagen back in it. I want to work on plumping it back up without adding fat, if you know what I mean. Bone broth has a huge amount of collagen in it that comes from the bones. It is absolutely amazing and good. And this is just another way for me to get, I don't like the powdered collagen. I don't do that. I do have some supplements of collagen, but this is a great, delicious way to get it in. So, all right, let's get started making it. So I went to Sam's the other day and I bought a rotisserie chicken specifically for this. But I told Bryant, I said, have at the chicken all you want. Leave on there what you don't want. If you eat everything but the bones, that's fine. All you need is a good chicken bone. It doesn't have to be rotisserie. I like using rotisserie because it just gives it a little more flavor. But if you want to boil your chicken or roast your own chicken or whatever, do it. Like if you're making chicken and dumplings and you've roasted or boiled your own chicken, take all that chicken off, but save those bones. And save that broth because you can just pour that broth right over here on here. But I'm starting kind of from scratch, but with a rotisserie chicken. Okay, and Bryant ate what he wanted. He doesn't eat the legs much, so I still have meat on the legs, and I have a little bit of breast meat left. He ate most of the breast. So I'm just going to put this carcass, meat and all, right in my slow cooker. Right here. This is my Ninja. And so I'm just going to put this right in there. And let me tell you, you see all this gelatinous stuff right here? I want that in there. This is part of that collagen that we want. Now when we heat it up, it's not going to be that consistency, so that's good. I mean, that consistency would turn me off too, but we don't have to worry about it. Now, you can strain your broth. I'll probably just scoop out the big pieces, but like if I get little bits of chicken in there, that's even more delicious. That's that much more protein. That helps, okay? So it's not hurting my feelings a bit that there's chicken in here and that there's meat on that bone. That's totally fine. All right, so I have some celery. I have some celery leaves that I've washed everything off. I've got some celery stalks here that I'm just going to kind of chop into a few pieces. We're just going to drop that right in there. I bought a bag of carrots the other day, and these were little bitty carrots in there that just were kind of small. I have washed them well, but did not peel them. The peel has a huge amount of vitamins and deliciousness, and we don't want to lose that because we're doing this for health reasons. Okay, so I've got an onion here that I want to chop up, and this is not a sweet onion. Like these were bought by mistake. These were not supposed to be. I like to use sweet onions, but hey, it doesn't matter for this. I'm just gonna chop these up, not chop them up. I'm just probably gonna quarter them, just like I did. Put them in there. If some of the peel goes in, that's fine too. Don't worry about it because you're gonna strain or scoop that part out. So we're just gonna drop we're going to get 2025 off to a delicious start and a healthy start. And if you don't believe me, I want you to Google the health properties in bone broth. The collagen for your skin, hair, nails, muscles, your joints. Collagen is so important for your joints. So there we go. All right. That's what's going in here. So now, if you want to be a purist at this point and just do this, that is totally fine. However, I am going to season mine up. Where did all my seasoning go? Oh, here it is. I am going to season just a little bit because I want to. It's my chicken broth, and so I want to. So right here's a little bit of ground thyme. Oh, it's not even open. Hold on. How many times does that happen to me? All the time. All the time. I don't know why this is not open. I thought for sure it would be. If I had some little sprigs of rosemary, that would be delicious in here. That onion is starting to kill me. All right, so we're going to put some ground thyme in here. You don't have to season this up much because that rotisserie is going to have plenty. I've got some poultry seasoning that has thyme already in it probably. And sage, but I'm going to add some sage and so let's put in a little bit of ground sage. It's going to smell like Thanksgiving in here. Okay, let's go in with some salt. I'm not going to salt it too terribly much. One, because I only have a little bit in here. And I'm using, this is Redmond's real salt. So, like, if you're getting off to a, you know, if you're turning over a new leaf, which I'm not completely this is just to have on hand. And I want to keep this as healthy as I possibly can. Now we're just going to cover this with water. Like I said, if you've boiled your chicken and you have chicken broth, by all means, fill it up with chicken broth. Let me grab some more water. Okay, we're going to get this in our slow cooker that I have right over here. We are going to cook that on low. We're going to let it go low and slow for anywhere from 12. I mean, we could look at it at 8 hours. We could look at it at 12, maybe even 24. The longer it cooks, the more of those nutrients you're going to get. I mean, as far as the gelatin and stuff and the collagen from those bones. But you're also going to cook out some of the vitamins from so you just got to find that happy medium. It's up to you. Just go through, everything's cooked in there because that is a rotisserie chicken. So nothing's gonna hurt you at this point if you go taste it right now. Nothing is gonna hurt you. So just periodically at the 6 hour mark, taste it and see if that's a good rich if that's a good rich bone broth for you. If not, let it go longer. So I don't know how long I'll let it go. We'll just wait and see. But then what we're going to do, after we scoop out the stuff from it, we are going to put it in the refrigerator. Any fat that is collected, you can at that point scrape it off. You want to leave a little bit because it's a good fat. So you can scrape a little bit of it off, but and then you can put it in freezer containers. Now that's one thing I neglected to do is to order. I was out of my freezer container, so we're gonna have to find something around here that I can freeze in. You can freeze in jar, or you're not probably supposed to freeze in mason jars or canning jars. I do, but you have to be super careful about it, and I try not to, but you surely can. I've only had, I think in my lifetime, I may have only had 2 jars crack in the freezer. And that's probably because I overfilled them because they expand as they freeze. So, all right. We'll see. We'll see you back when this is ready. Okay, everybody, we are back at this chicken broth. So what I want to do is I want to get out as many pieces of everything as I can. I saved this container just to kind of throw the trash in. And there is some chicken. So I'm actually going to lay the chicken over here and I'll kind of pick through that later. So there's some actual meat. And I definitely want to hang on to the meat, but not so much the bones. And we're just gonna start getting out. And if I'm unsure, because I'm gonna pick through this, I'm just gonna lay everything over here. If I'm unsure what's in there. But otherwise, the carcass and stuff, we're gonna actually strain it. But what I want to do first is get the fat out. And I can actually pick through here too, because it's all food in here. All right, this is gonna take a while. Hey everybody, so we are moving right along to the next step of this bone broth. Okay, there's not a lot of fat actually in here. There's some on top, and I'm gonna scrape what little bit I can out, but I'm not super worried about it at all. So what I need to do is get that out, what little bit I can, and then we're going to strain it, and then we're going to put it back in here and reheat it, add the chicken bits in that I've kept, and then we're going to scoop it up and freeze it. Guys, there's really just not enough for me to even really super duper worry with. So I'm going to stop there. I mean, I know there's still a little more in there, but that's okay. It's not much. And I'm really not worried about it. Okay, so now we're going to strain it real quick. Here's what we're doing. I have a bowl and I have a sieve that I'm just going to put right there and strain it out. Then I'll just pour this right back into the crock pot. All right, I wanted to show you, look at this rich, thick sauce broth. Oh my goodness, does that not look delicious? Once I heat it up, I'm gonna taste it again to be sure I have enough salt in it. But, oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. That is like a big bowl of health right there. So if you're sick with the norovirus, which is going around awful, you don't want anything to eat, but you need to stay hydrated. Drinking some of this broth will be very good for you. If you're worried about your skin and hair and nails and your joints and you need to get some collagen, what better way to get collagen? I mean, I don't want to drink a powder. Ugh. And I sure don't like taking pills. I do take them. If I don't have this, I do take them. And if you're just sick with a cold, I mean, you need you some good bone broth, especially in the freezer, to pull out if somebody's sick or whatever. Or let me tell you what else. You can just cook with this. If you're making chicken and dumplings, put a little bit of this with some broth in there, and it just gives it a richness that, So, all right, I'm gonna pour it into my crock pot and get it heated back up, and then we're gonna scoop it out and freeze it. So my broth is back in the crock pot, and it is heating up. And so I wanna get the chicken pieces that I pulled off, I wanna get it back in there. So it'll be nice and warm and distributed out among this delicious, rich, healthy broth. So I'm getting that in there. And like, you don't have to add the chicken back in. If you leave it without the chicken, it is actually a true bone broth. But I struggle getting enough protein in, so if I can add some chicken in there and just add a little bit of protein, every little bit helps. So that's why I'm adding that back in there. But you by all means don't have to. This is just an extra step I'm doing. Okay, I'll see you back when we start spooning it up into freezer containers. I don't expect this to hang around long, so I didn't order my containers that I usually use from Amazon. I need to get on Amazon and order them right now. But I did, let me tell you what I did. Isaac and Caroline always, when they leave here after supper, they'll grab out of my drawer, my Tupperware drawer, they'll grab some containers and take leftovers home. Well, you know, nobody ever brings back containers. I mean, it's just, I mean, they would. It's just they forget. They come back over here and it's the next supper and they've forgotten. And then we're like, so I'm scrambling for something to put their leftovers in. So for Christmas, Mama got Caroline a set of these and she got Isaac a set of these. Well, Isaac just came over here. He just immediately stuck them in my drawer because he says, I know this is where I'm going to get them from. So this is what I'm going to put the broth in, is Isaac's containers. So we'll still be looking for leftover containers. But yeah, it's funny because Caroline, she'll save them up for like a long time, and she'll finally, I guess they'll get in her way, and she'll say, Mama, I'm bringing back all your stuff. So is that not just the way it goes? I mean, that's just the way it is. So they're so cute, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I love that they love to eat at Mama's. I love that they love to take leftovers home. I love it. So wouldn't change a thing. All right, I have scraped off the fat, reheated it, and so now we're going to, whoops, sorry guys, we're going to scoop this up, ladle it into a freezer container. I want to get some of that chicken
I'm not going to fill these all the way full. Do one more scoop there. All right, that should be good for that one. Y'all, look at that. That is some beautiful stuff right there. Beautiful stuff. All right, I'm going to finish doing that, and I'll come back and tell you bye in just a little bit. So I fixed up 3 of those containers of the bone broth. Now, each container is probably at least 2 meals worth of bone broth. So that's probably 6 meals of bone broth. And that, especially if you don't feel good, you're not going to eat a whole lot. So there you go. There is a great tutorial on how to make a delicious chicken bone broth. Now, later on, we may do the beef bone broth because it's even richer, even more full of collagen, and it's just, I think it's good too. So we may make that at a later date, but I hope you enjoyed the bone broth tutorial, and I want to thank Cosway for sponsoring today's video and for helping my husband's feet feel so much better. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.